welcome to another vlog. Here we are, halfway up the Aylesbury arm, at a tilt. The problem, and we did know about this, is that lock there leaks. So overnight all the water has drained out of this pound, or a lot of it has, leaving the muddy banks exposed and leaving us on a wonk. So we're off to let some water into this pound to refloat our boats, and then we'll see what we do after that. And a little while later, we've been up and let some water down. We've met the CRT, so we're letting water down from the junction at the top. Our boats are floating again. So I think shortly we'll be able to get going. And we're off, largely on foot, as we help Dreammaker and Priceless up 8 locks to the junction. And this pretty view masks the horrors of Lock 4 with the head gate that only opens just wide enough to let a boat out. If you may remember, we had real trouble when we came down. And in role reversal, owing to us being stopped by a load of fishing line round the weed hatch, round the prop, Judith is working lock number 3. And into the bottom chamber of the last 2 locks, which form a staircase. So bottom chamber empty, top chamber full, and we'll empty the top chamber into the bottom chamber, and then we'll fill up the top chamber, and then we're done. And back onto the main line of the Grand Union, trying not to hit a boat that's moored very close to the lock landing. Here's the Grand Union with all its moored boats. Lots of boats moored up for months on the 48-hour visitor moorings. I guess we've got to get used to that. And Nigel just told us that there's nowhere to moor before the next set of locks. So I guess we're committed.
There's a boat park. There's a waterfall for a lock. Nigel in the weed hatch. God, loads and loads of weed coming out around this crop. He was going in ours again. Just as I've made coffee as well.
It might not have anything round it this time. Oh yes, it does. Oh God. This for the blanket is strong weed that goes all around it.
Blanket weed, yeah. I couldn't avoid it, you see. Can't avoid it.
No, it was when I was going through those boats, I think. There are big fronds of it underneath the boats because they haven't moved. No more single locks until the Oxford, which is a long time away. So the A team is back together again. Skipper's back together, sharing the lock. I think they're probably talking about food. This is great. A load of hire boats coming down. So the lock gates are open for us. Here we are at the top, right down the Wendover arm, only about 20 minutes before you run out of the canal, straight on along the Tring summit. 55 miles from Braunston, 38.5 miles to go to Brentford.
narrow down there.
Beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Or the other side of the bridge, maybe. I don't
The other
know.
side of the bridge looks a bit better, unless it says no mooring there, but I can't see why it would. Not a water point or anything, is it? The other side of the
There is a water
There's
point.
a water point the other side of the bridge. Do you reckon it's that?
Well, there's no mooring along here.
I don't think there's a space here.
No, there's not a space.
That'll be a water point.
This is nice, whatever it is. Is that a house? It's a house, this, I think.
And here we are. Not the best mooring in the world, but it is a mooring, and it is next to the pub. Well, good morning. And it's a dull day, and it's predicted to get worse. So we're going to try and get going and see if we can get to Berkhamsted before the heavens open. We shall see. Just waiting for Nigel and Peter to come round that corner. Here they come. Bang on time. Thanks, guys. Yes, it is my birthday.
And we're off. Just going into tring cutting. We're on the summit. I'm just taking a video of this little beastie. See you in a bit.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
So we've done the Tring summit. We've got Diesel from Cowroast Marina. Very nice people there. And now the boats are going down. I think we'll be going down for quite some time. And it's raining. Well, we've given up. Just below the lock we found these handy moorings. And the rain is getting worse and worse and worse, and predicted to get worse for the next few hours. And I'd rather be dry than soaking wet in Berkhamsted. We'll go there tomorrow. For now, it's coffee and then lunch. Well, good morning. Well, the rain has gone, although there may be showers. And today we hope to get to Berkhamsted, which is where we were hoping to get to yesterday, until the rain stopped us. Very popular place, Berkhamsted, so we're a bit worried we might not get moored there. In which case I guess we'll just have to carry on until we do get moored. So let's just see what happens.
Beautiful day.
Yeah. And we're off.
Lovely view from Dudswell Top Lock. First lock of the day.
Another pretty one. Ooh. Nice view over there.
The And there goes Nigel, off to the next lock. Lock 3. It's very pretty, this little stretch of canal, in an urban sort of way. And there are the boats breasted up, because around here people are more as close to the lock landing as possible.
We are in Berkhamsted, looking for a mooring.
And here we are in Berkhamsted. Almost gave up hope, but just before those next pair of locks we found this little spot, which is rather pleasant. So I think we'll have coffee and then decide what we do after that, although lunch will of course be part of the plan. So let's go and explore Berkhamsted. It's supposed to be very nice, but the main aim is shopping. Just walking past the exclusive Berkhamsted School, where Graham Greene's father, Graham Greene the famous author of course, was a housemaster. Graham Greene, a son of Berkhamsted. I think we found the high street. I think that's Berkhamsted Town Hall. Fine old building. Well, good morning from a slightly dull Berkhamsted, though it is going to brighten up, they say. With some sadness, it's time to go. We had a lovely time yesterday. Lovely pint at the Rising Sun. A lovely Italian at Per Tutti, where Nigel and I had our favourite meal of chicken Milanese with spaghetti pomodoro. But now it's time to move on. Destination in mind of Kings Langley.
And we're off. Well, just waiting for the boat to come out the lock. This amazing house.
Second lock of the day, the Rising Sun, where a very agreeable pint of Harvey's Sussex Bitter and then an agreeable pint of Chiltern Bitter was consumed last night before our Italian. And here come our skippers doing the duet thing. Stop for services, water, toilet, all done. Time to head off to the next lock. And there's a Greggs behind Nigel and Peter, and none of us have succumbed to the smell of sausage cobs.
Correct.
These locks are a bit of a pain, as they have to be left empty. Now we're going down the locks, that means they need to be full. We go in, then we empty the lock, so I'm having to fill each lock before the boats go in and then empty it again. Bit of a pain, but it's a lovely day, so I can't really complain.
This was the swing bridge that was broken for a couple of days. All good now.
Here we are at the next lock, and I have to say, the nature of boating changes as you get towards London. There's a boat just come up this lock, and this guy's emptied the lock and he's coming up it again. It was our lock, he's emptied it, he's on his own, the other boat's on its own. Why are they not buddied up? They're wasting water because they're in too much of a hurry to actually do it properly. Well, after a bit of a hold up with a wide beam, the way, mooring up by a sunken boat, trying to avoid getting ropes around the prop. Here we are at last, coming into lock 62, I think it is. Nigel and Peter waiting patiently for us, unlike most London boaters. Moored up just for a while because it's lunch time.
And we're off. Just coming into Aylesbury, which is part of Hampstead.
I'm losing count of locks. I think this might be 66. But the good thing about this lock is that Sainsbury's is just to the left. And just under the bridge on the right is Sainsbury's very own Stop and Shop mooring. Judith picked up a hoodie round the prop last time we were down this way, some years ago. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Ooh, look! A Fuller's pub. This really did used to be a paper mill.
Little baby bridge.
Possibly the last lock of the day. Not a particularly peaceful location for a mooring, but you don't really get those around here as you come into London. And a mooring is a mooring. Well, this will do. After a long hard day, we found this fairly decent mooring just shy of King's Langley. Yeah, you can hear the trains, but you can't have everything. And the mooring you'd like is not as good as the mooring you have.
And Peter likes trains.
I like trains, yes. Somebody's already established themselves on the towpath.
Cheers.
And I think we will be joining them. Well, there we were. Hard day, but feeling pleased with ourselves. Looking forward to the next section of the trip into London. But bad news was around the corner. Find out about that by watching next time. For now, I'll say bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.